Zel Boy Army, how's it going today? Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Today's video we are looking at underrated players on FIFA 20. It's going to be a mix of underrated as in they're just rubbish on the game compared to what they should have been based on their real life performances, whether it be past players or current players. And there's also probably going to be a few less, but there's going to be some underused cards that I think are really good, but a lot of people don't seem to rate them. There's going to be a lot of icons in here, and a lot of them are going to just come down to they just don't have enough pace or just don't suit the way the game plays. But we'll go through them, and I'll talk about each one. If there's any you think I've left out, please let me know. If there's any that you disagree with, please let me know. There's only so... for the defenders, I could have probably just picked a lot more, but it pretty much always just comes down to the too slow. So I didn't want to just keep doing that for defenders. And then for the midfield attack, I've got a full 23-man team. So there is going to be players I leave out, so bear that in mind. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning into today's video. So, we're starting off with Bale. This guy won a World Cup. I think he was the captain of the team, won the World Cup. Won numerous Champions League with Barcelona. It's not just that he's slow. Like, that's his moments card. He's really slow, considering this was him at his best. Bale started at right back, and he wasn't lightning, but there's no way Bale at his peak was this slow. That's just stupid. But then, I'm not saying he was Xavi, but he played in one of the best teams, if not the best team ever for passing. There's no way Bale's passing was that bad and his dribbling and ball control was that bad. EA have done him dirty, and I just don't get why he's that bad on some of these. Baresi, my dad rates Baresi as potentially the best player that he ever watched play centre-back. To play centre-back for that Milan team for so long, Italy... and my dad's someone I respect his opinion on football. He said the fact Baresi is basically unusable on FIFA is crazy because he thinks he's the best centre-back he's ever watched. A lot of this isn't even just... like, technically, he's actually pretty good compared to a lot of centre-backs. But he's not quick at all. So he's instantly killed there. But his physicals are pretty tough, whereas Baresi was actually known for being quite a tough physical player. He was small, but he made up for that with how good physically he was, so I don't really get where EA are coming from with that one. PK probably does have more aggression than this, I think. He'd be better balanced than that, but again, way too slow. And he should probably have high 90s on his passing, considering how good PK is on the ball. And this is a TOTS version. His dribbling's pretty bad too. And this is a TOTS version. Like, his normal card is way too slow and just unusable. Bobby Moore, basically similar stuff to Baresi. Awful physical, awful pace. Seen as one of the game's finest ever centre-backs, unusable. Nesta, physical, they did alright. There's no way Nesta would have been that unagile. Again, too slow. Koulibaly is probably in the top few centre-backs in world football right now. This is his second in form, and it's still not very good. Similar issue to the other centre-backs. Laporte, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. There's no way of the high-line Man City play and how good you have to be on the ball with passing and pace and stuff. There's no way Laporte is that bad on the ball or that slow in real life. So again, another one that like he's pretty much useless on the game. Even at the start of the game, he was too bad. Robertson, I think his crossing should be higher than that, even though it's very good. I think his attacking positioning should be better because he's very good at movement off the ball. He's definitely quicker than that. And I also think that they've done him a bit dirty on his strength. Foot Birthday Da Costa's one that I'm putting in the unused category. He's a really good player that if you stick an anchor on, has very high defending, very good pace, pretty good on the ball, and very nice defending or physical stats all around. And with good links in the Bundesliga for quite cheap. 5-star, 4-star, very underused card. Godin, for me, is one of the best out-and-out defenders we've seen in the last 20 years. And his card reflects that. Again, this is his TOTS card, and he is still crazy slow. I'd rather just EA, if they don't even think these guys have the pace, just up the pace to make him usable. Because right now, pace is just such a defining stat on this game. They just ruined so many good players. Thiago Silva, again, just not quick enough. Thiago Silva is not that slow. I mean, he's getting on now. He's like nearly 36. But, like, he's been slow on FIFA as long as I can remember. Romagnoli and Otamendi, the Scream twins, I'm putting them in the underused. They both I'm saying underused as well from when they came out. For when they came out, they both had very good physical and defending stats. Were pretty quick when they came out, and very solid on the ball back then. So they were two very underused cards. Let's go to the midfield. Okay, we're starting off with a big one. Diego Maradona. Diego Maradona's card is still very good and has some amazing stats on this game. But once we move to the midfield and attack, a lot of the cards are going to be ruined by one big thing. The weak foot. This is an issue on the game where EA have not balanced weak foot properly. Satal is better than Team of the Year Messi on the game because of his weak foot. I'm not saying just give someone 5-star weak foot and they become insane, but it's too important. 3-star weak foot is nowhere near good enough, and it's too regimented on this game that you can just show someone onto the weak foot. Whereas real life players like Salah, Robben, who were not that good on the right foot, could still make it work because they were that good at dribbling. The game's dribbling doesn't allow that, so 99 Maradona is honestly probably less used in the game than 86 Satal, which is crazy. He has some very good stats, but he doesn't play up to this card at all, which is a real shame. Because Maradona, for some people, is the greatest player to ever play football. Zidane, the card looks fantastic, but in game feels clunky. Defending doesn't feel very good. Doesn't feel that good physically. Doesn't live up to a lot of the stats. For me, Zidane's one of the biggest letdowns that FIFA had this year. Looks great, doesn't play at all, and the agility is just too important. Kimmich, I'm putting him in the underused. One of the best defensive mids in the game, I think. I feel because he's got a little bit slow sprint speed for a top card, and not the best strength. People underrate him. But his defending's fantastic, his aggression's amazing. He's got ridiculous dribbling. He can shoot better than I'd have expected him to give Kimmich. His weak foot's good. The skill moves don't matter that much at CDM, and people look at the work rates and think it lets him down. But you put him on stay back while attacking, and I found he was still fantastic. So an underused cards with good links. Kroos, I think this card, considering it's supposed to be a 96 insane Kroos, is way too bad. I'm sorry, but Kroos is not that bad at jumping, and he's definitely faster than that. I think that should be Kroos' gold card sprint speed. If not, should be higher. They always do Kroos dirty on pace, and this one, there's no difference, just done him dirty again, and he's not that unagile. Ziyech, the weak foot kills him. He's got 2-star on his normal card. I think he's actually a lot stronger than that, considering his tots should be stronger. Again, a bit like a worse Robben, just doesn't play well because of the way that the weak foot works. Verratti, I'm somewhat putting him in the underrated. Verratti is one of the world's best midfielders and should not be that weak and slow on his best card. And he's also probably a better finisher or he should be on his best card. However, I'm also putting him in the underused because for a card that's under 100k, he's really good still. But he's that good in real life that I think they've underdone him still. Salvio, underused, insane card. Not the hardest to link in, considering he's Argentinian. Hate playing against him, very good player. Even got good defending. Jonathan David, underused. He's only just come out, I guess, but similar to Salvio. But at the same time, I've barely seen him. 5-star weak foot, I've not seen much hype about him. Great shooting. He's got 99 sprint speed finishing. Fantastic dribbling, great passing, composure, really strong. His aggression and skill moves lets him down a bit for his price. An amazing card. Ryan Giggs. I don't think Ryan Giggs was insane as a lot of people make out. But 2-star weak foot has meant he is unusable pretty much on this game. The stats that he should be good at. He's pretty good at pace, pretty solid dribbler, very good crossing, decent shooting. But the way they've done it, his dribbling's just so... Not dribbling. His dribbling's not as good as it should be because of the agility he has. But the weak foot just make him unusable. The way the game works, he's just not very good. Mateus, one of the world's best ever midfielders, plays well, but doesn't play anywhere near as good as he should. Kaká, this is the card Prime Kaká should have been. And even then, I feel like the best version of Kaká, considering how the juice card, should be better physically than this. Should have better agility. Kaká in his prime was one of the best players I've ever watched. Underrated. His moments card isn't too bad, but still could be better. But it's his other free cards, the Prime, the Mid, the Baby, that are so bad that I just don't get what EA were thinking on those cards. The Prime is one of the most disgustingly underrated icons I've seen. Pirlo, his card is relatively fair. I would argue you could give him a bit better interceptions, defensive awareness in his best version, and maybe a slight bit more pace. But for the most part, his passing dribbling is not too bad. But he's just so bad on the game. I'd also give him 99 free kicks, because why not? He was insane at free kicks. I don't think he was better at penalties than he was free kicks. But it's just, again, his card just does not suit FIFA. He feels pretty awful on FIFA the way he plays. I tried him out way before TOTS when the Moments Icons came out, and he was just awful. And at moments, Pirlo shouldn't feel like that. Parejo, in real life, is a fantastic player. On FIFA, he's useless. Weak, with that aggression, really slow with that sprint speed, not the best defending, unagile, plays awful, and for me, again, a good player in real life, that's some dirty on FIFA. Thiago, similar to Parejo, a bit better. I'd argue he goes a bit like the Vrij, underused and underrated, because he has some sick stats, but the weak foot does let him down. In real life, he's an amazing player, though, and I think the sprint speeds and the aggression for TOTS Thiago are not good enough. Gerrard, real life, again, one of the best midfielders of his generation. The 3-star just kills him straight away. Pozuelo, 5-star weak foot, fantastic, overrated card in terms of based on real life, but an underused card that's got some very well-rounded stats, especially with that weak foot. Baggio, all of Baggio's cards are unfair, I think. The shot power, I'm sorry, Baggio was not that good. And was not that good in the sense of he was such a good player that you can't say he was that bad at shooting with power. His agility and balance, he was a great dribbler. It just doesn't make sense. Baggio was one of the best players of the late 80s and early 90s. Savigny, underrated card, very good player on the game. Probably overrated in terms of shouldn't be that good, but he's underused on the game. Suits the game to a T, 4-star, great aggression, great dribbling, very decent shot. His passing is top notch, and he's got very good links, and he's a really cheap price. I was surprised how good this card was. Casemiro, simply put, just way too slow for a best version of Casemiro. He was a 3 in a row key defensive midfielder for Real Madrid in the Champions League. Lampard, awful agility balance, probably lower defending than he should have been, lower pace and physical. Lampard was a beast at his best. Riquelme, just awful physical. Probably wasn't that good physically in real life. Technically was a beast, but the fact they've made him so bad physically makes him useless on FIFA. Busquets is probably the epitome of awful player on FIFA based on what he should have. This is his TOTS card. His gold card is so bad. Like, you'd rather play a gold Musa Sissoko. Busquets will go down as one of the best players to ever play his position, maybe the best. And some of the stats they give him I just don't get. Busquets is one of the most criminally underrated players on FIFA ever, I would say. Socrates, I'm going to put him on underused and underrated. His card stats are probably fair, maybe even overrated in some ways, but underrated in the sense of he plays bad on FIFA, considering in my opinion, and then he's underused at the same time, considering how little I see him and some of the stats he does have. He should be picked up more. Let's move on to the attackers. Okay, Lewandowski. His TOTS card's pretty great and lives up to Lewandowski a bit more. This is arguably the best striker in world football right now. Lewandowski now is a better player than CR7 in real life. CR7, the level he was at, he's still very good, but Lewandowski will obviously never be at that. But Lewandowski right now is still an insane player. I just don't get how they do him so dirty. He's probably strong in this in real life, definitely quicker, definitely got higher than 88 finishing, better agility, better dribbling. Like Lewandowski's base gold card this year was a crazy injustice to him. Kane, Very similar. He's not quick in real life, but he's definitely quicker than that. He should have 5-star weak foot for one. A bit more strength. Better dribbling. Like Kane, again, another card they do dirty. Benzema, I think his card's overrated based on what he is in real life, but it's an underused card because it's so good and he barely gets picked up. Very good card in game as well. Hard to play against, so I'd put him in the underused. Suarez, not overrated but underused. Barely see him, and I hate playing against him. Messi, his card on paper looks amazing, but based on how it actually plays in game now, I'm putting Messi in underrated. Messi might be the best footballer ever, and on FIFA, he's obviously fantastic still, but he's not even near the best player in the game, and that's a crime. Messi should be better than how he plays on FIFA. At the start of this FIFA, where dribbling felt more responsive and finesse shots outside the box were good, Messi felt great. But now, Messi's just nowhere near what he was at the start, and I don't get it. Ilicic, great card on paper, awful in game. In real life, he's a baller, nowhere near as good in game as he should be. Griezmann, weak foot just kills him. Immobile, one of the best strikers in Serie A for numerous years, looks good, but no skill moves. Not the best weak foot, pretty clunky with that balance and agility. Does him dirty. Henry, one of the best players in the noughties. Fantastic player. Some would argue in the shout for one of the best strikers ever. I'm not sure I'd go that far, but definitely in the tier below best players in his generation. Just the main thing that does him dirty is his physicals. He was better than that physically. And he's just nowhere near as good on the ball as he should be. And this is his moments, which is actually fairly well made, but like the others are even worse. His 90 card doesn't even average 80 agility, balance and dribbling. Lukaku, not an unreal player in real life, but a very good striker still, and this card just awful in game compared to what he should be. Van Basten, Forbes magazine rated Van Basten the greatest athlete to ever have his career ruined by injuries. And that was after he won 3 Ballon d'Ors by the age of 27. Van Basten is one of the best players to ever play football, in my opinion. Everyone who I've talked to, watched him at the time, says that. But in FIFA, he's decent, but that's it. He wouldn't be in the top 30 strikers on FIFA right now. Whereas he's probably in the top 5, maybe at least top 10 strikers to ever play football. Van Nistelrooy, not as good as Van Basten, but again, the weak foot and lack of skill moves hurt him a bit. Clunky, probably better physically than that considering it's his moments card. Underrated card. Drogba, his card looks reasonable on paper, except for I'd give him better dribbling. Like Drogba was decent on the ball, and this is his best card. Never mind how bad some of his other cards are. Don't get why Drogba got done dirty so much. Closer, his card, I don't know, like he's overrated in some areas. Like, I don't think he was ever that quick. But then underrated in some other areas. It's a weird one. I think that he wasn't an insane player outside international duty, but he's the World Cup leading goal scorer, I think. And considering how good he was at international level, how good he could be, he's pretty much useless on FIFA, and that's just a shame. Stoichkov was an insane player in real life. Weak foot ruins him. Shearer, the all-time Premier League top goal scorer. Bad weak foot, like really bad. Awful skill moves. He didn't do skill moves, but his weak foot should have been at least 4-star. Can't dribble whatsoever. Like, if you're not going to give him the dribbling, at least make him a bit quicker and give him some really good physical stats. Shearer was known as a big, strong, aggressive striker. Rivaldo, weak foot kills him. I think the guy won a Ballon d'Or and he's unusable on FIFA. Diego Costa was way better than this in his prime, way quicker, way better on the ball. Vieira, at one point, it might have been the world record transfer. At the very least, he was one of the world's most expensive strikers at his peak. Pretty much unusable on FIFA again. Cavani, unusable, and he's been a top striker for years. Bale, if it weren't for Messi and Ronaldo, Bale at one point would have been in a shout for the Ballon d'Or. And he's unusable on FIFA until you get to his foot birthday because of the weak foot. Shevchenko, one of the best strikers to grace football in the last 20 to 30 years. When Serie A was in its pomp, Shevchenko was the best striker in the league. Again, very bad on FIFA. Ibrahimovic, He's a bit past it now. But none of his cards this year, even the winter refresh, are that good. The guy's a black belt in a martial art and has awful balance. I don't get how they justify some of these cards again. Boys, I feel like we've gone through some of the cards quite quick, but it's still a 20-minute video. There's probably loads more cards that we missed. If there is enough, we maybe end up doing a part 2. But boys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you all. Have a spicy evening, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.